What's going on, YouTubers, gamers and hobbyists? Welcome to another episode of P&Q, my question and answer series, where you get to ask me questions or put comments to me, conundrums, whatever it is may be, and or send me emails, and I answer them the following week. I've been doing this for a couple of years now. Episode 100 and whatever it is, but it's been a while. And I haven't tired of doing them. They're still one of my favourite series to make. I suppose in terms of regular series, I suppose this and On the Bench are my two favourites to make. Because other ones like tutorials, now they happen as and when and things. So, but anyway, enough of that. Question and answer series. So it's a Q&A where you can either put your comments or questions down below in the comment section, or you can email me at miniwarzone@gmail.com. I'll put a link in the video description below. That'll get you an anonymous response. Or if you make a video and ask me a question in a video, or just ask a generic question that you don't mind other people answering, I'll pick that up and I'll answer that here as well. Anyway, I got my questions written out today. Tea, which is half drunk. Sore throat still. I've been in town, so I've been a bit busy this morning. Anyway, we've got a couple of emails, 3 actually. Excuse me. I'm gonna have some of that tea. Alright, first one. So, Anonymous says, starting with emails obviously. Pete, is that an Airfix calendar that you've got on the wall behind you? I can't quite tell, but it definitely looks like it. Out of shot at the moment, but just there. Yes, I have an Airfix calendar for next year. It's on the wall. The next email says, hey Pete, it's bad luck to have next year's calendar up already. Only if you believe in all that stuff, and I don't. Couldn't care two hoots about it. Bothers me not. Moving swiftly on, Anonymous says, Congo looks like some real fun and a solid game to boot. So, do you have any plans to do anything with it on your channel? I.e. battle reports or painting tutorials? I would love to start something like this, but feel slightly intimidated in terms of colour schemes, etc. It would be nice to see a tutorial or two on painting the figs as a kind of baseline for myself. Hope that makes sense. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. The adventure pack is actually right in front of me now. At the moment, they're not very colourful because I'm just laying down some basic stuff. Yeah, they're not most colourful at the moment, but I just do it. But hopefully in the future, and I get some more figures for the game, I will definitely do some tutorials. I'm using this adventure pack as a kind of tester, really, just to get the feel of it. So yeah, I will definitely be doing that. Absolutely, and it's a good suggestion as well. Thank you very much. Oh, throat is really today. I'm going to need another cup of tea at the end of this. Okay, so that's the emails. So I went from having no emails for weeks on end to 3 in a row. There you go. That's just how it works here. Oliver D says, so starting on the comments now. This was actually put on another video, but I did pick it up. It says, I like to watch your show, Pete. I'm always stuck on what colour to choose when it's time to paint. When your next P&Q, yeah, I would like to know, what is your technique or your planning on what colour you choose? Well, it depends very much upon what I'm painting. So in the instance of Congo, for instance, like you see, I'm painting this lion. I just look at pictures of lions, see what colours they are. As you and the gentleman before, I like to see if there's anything that's painted already. Box art's always a good way. Although the box art for the gorilla, I'm I'm probably not going to go with. I prefer him black, to be truthful. That's just the way of it. I might do a black grey on his stomach and chest, but yeah, I don't want to put the silver stuff on him, like the silver back kind of thing. So I'll do it my own way. I know. I just I paint if it's a fictitious figure such as Warhammer. I like to paint them according to say Space Marines, for instance. And you say take Blood Angels for example. I like to try and paint them according to their proper colours. That said, there are times when you can paint things like that in your own colour schemes. If you're making your own Space Marine faction, for instance, then I'll pick colours that I fancy painting, say like, I don't know, I fancy painting yellows or purples or pinks or whatever, and I'll just do that, and I'll just experiment with it. I like things like luggage and things. I like to have a bit of variation, or even if it's slight. Some historical figures you notice are quite drab in their colours. Sometimes I think, I'll just spruce it up a bit, make it a bit more colourful. Other times I think that's why I kind of grew out of bolt action, really, because the figures were all like Germans and Americans, and yeah, they're slightly different. They weren't very different, not like say Ultramarines and Tyranids or anything like that. You're painting greys and greens, dark blues, grey blues, you know, mostly, and I just got bored with it, so that's the reason for that. Other historical figures I will be attempting in the future, I will be looking at reference books for. If I do indeed get into the American Civil War, then I shall be looking at some reference material for that. So I don't want to mess it up, basically. The animals, look at pictures. I mean, the picture of our alligators look like a chameleon, but I want mine. I don't know. I wanted mine green, so dark green is their base colour. Things like that. Skin tones, things like these natives. You know, I just chose dark browns, and I'm going to work my way up on a couple of them, do some lighter browns maybe, and others I won't, because I like them to be quite different. So things like that. Things like trousers, tops, weapons and that. I don't know, I just look at the model, look at what he's surrounded in, or like what faction he's in, or army he's in, or I think what would go, what would stand out like a sore thumb. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It works more often than it doesn't, so yeah, I think I do okay with it. Yeah. So it's not much of a technique as such, more of a, I don't know, just play it by ear, as it were, but by eye. Hope that helps. But I will be, going back to the previous comment, I will be doing tutorials on painting Congo figures, natives, that kind of thing. The white man explorers, all that kind of stuff. You know, I want to really get into this game. I love it. Crew Orange Silicus is next. So hey Mike, he says, nice P&Q Pete. So what's on the Christmas list for this year? Well, this year nothing, because we're going to be suffering financially due to the amazing holiday we had recently. We're going to have to really cut back, and we've both agreed to have a really tight budgeted Christmas this year, so we're probably not going to have presents for each other this year. Maybe one, and it's going to be really small, just token stuff, you know, but that's, you know, it's not what it's about anyway, is it? I mean, excuse me, I went in town today with hope to get a Christmas present. Ended up giving the last of my money to a homeless person because they need it more than me, right? I'm buying Christmas. They're trying to survive, so it's a no-brainer. But yeah, you know, we've got each other. We've got a house over, you know, roof over our heads. I mean, look at me. I'm in luxury. I'm in my man cave. I have this Congo stuff before me to paint, and some projects which I was able to purchase because somebody paid me some money they owed me, and so that was good. Next year, I mean, I'm coming up towards my first AdSense milestone, so hopefully I'll get my first YouTube payout. It's only taken 2 years, you know. So hopefully I'll be able to get another, or I'll get my first faction in Congo with that. Hopefully, fingers crossed. So yeah, it's not so bad. I've got my Congo. I still got bits and pieces to finish off. I've got my Orc Bomber. I've got my Ford Ranger truck. So I've got loads of stuff to do. As far as Mrs. Mini Warzone goes, you know, she's got a lot of stuff to get for her own family as well. So it's tight. It's difficult. I've only got a couple of presents on my family side to get, so it's not too bad for me. And but we help each other out. We just do what we can. But unfortunately, nothing's on my list for this year because we can't afford it. But you know, we're here, we're alive. We're still gonna have plenty of food to eat and a roof over our heads. That's the main thing. And as long as I don't get ill or anything like that, life is good. So it's not negative, it's positive. Gotta stay positive, man. That's what it's all about. I get a lot of positivity through this hobby and through this channel, so all good. Anyway, moving on to Drake's War channel. He says, what force are you interested in building for Congo? Well, great question. What force am I interested in building? Well, I like the white man tribe, the white man explorers. So they got a lot of shooting on their side. The Zanzibarians, they're kind of really cool at melee. And both of the native tribes, so the African tribes, or the forest tribes in the African kingdoms, they've got like witch doctor magic and that kind of stuff that they can do. I think it's a toss up between the white man explorers and the African kingdoms. I think that's the one. The ones with the pygmies and the pygmy king. I love the pygmies. I do not like playing against them. They are tricky little buggers. Yes, they are. But I think they'd be kind of fun to play with on your side. So, yeah, African kingdoms or white man expeditions, the explorers. That's what I'm thinking, anyway. Yeah. Sorry about my voice. Comes and goes here. Moving on to James and his stuff. James and his stuff says, favourite colour? I'd have to say blue or red, or blue and red, you know, primary colours. I've always loved red since a kid, and I seem to love blue a lot now. Yeah, I like them all, to be honest. It's difficult to pick a favourite, but I do like blues and reds. So one of those. I'd probably roll the dice on that one. Right, so that's that. Second page. Right. Oh, it's James and his stuff again. He says, I like this vid. Thank you, James and his stuff. Super War Gamer. Oh, he's giving me a scenario. Okay, being curious. You are alone on an oil rig and have to fight for survival. Okay, I can work with that. But get to pick your opponent from 3. 1, an alien from the film Alien. 2, 2 gene stealers. Or 1 venom throat. You cannot leave the oil rig until your opponents are defeated. And only weapons you can use are those that you can make from items on the rig itself. You have 2 days to prepare before they come for you. Who would you choose to fight and why? Plus, how would you plan to win? I choose the venom throat because he's harmless. Boom boom. Nah, I'd probably choose. Probably 2 gene stealers. Depends on what stage they're at of mutation. And I'd make a nice big flamethrower or 10. Yeah, that's what I'd do. And I'd set fire traps all around. Well, I know the alien from the film Alien didn't like fire very much, so but he's quite hard. So I'll say 2 gene stealers and go with flamethrowers that I build from the oil rig. Hopefully from the oil I've mined, it can be used as fuel as well for other traps and things. So yeah, and then hopefully blow the whole thing up as I swim on an empty or float on an empty oil drum. Oh, construct a raft out of some oil drums and some rope and wood and that, and float to safety. That's what I would do. Okay, Frost and Fists. Another great video, my friend. For next week, inspired by recently seeing Doctor Strange, you're waking up tomorrow finding you have magic and understand how to manipulate the universe around you. How do you use your newfound power? I assume that you'll say something selfless. So in addition to your big picture answer, what's something personal that you would do with this gift? Teleport around the world for battle reports? Build a game room in a sky castle? Craft wargaming models of pure diamond? Perhaps something else? As always, my friend, much love and stay frosty. Well, leaving out the big picture of, world peace and love and all that kind of stuff, what I would do for myself is simple. I'd cure my multiple sclerosis. I'd rid my body of this disease, and I would be healthy again. That's what I would do for myself. Thanks for the question. But that's a no-brainer too. Yeah. Those of you that don't know, I do have MS. I know a lot of you have been following me since I started and know I have multiple sclerosis, but yeah, I've got it. Been diagnosed for a few years now, and when I was diagnosed, they said we reckon you've had it at least 10 years, and that makes sense in a lot of aspects of my life. So yeah, that's what I'd do. I'd cure myself. Right, moving on to Eric Beer. He says, another good one. How do you prefer... excuse me, I'm really sorry about my tickly throat. How do you prefer to travel on long journeys? Car, train, plane or boat? Well, I don't like travelling on a plane. I'd rather say I don't like it. Or train. Car. You can stop. You're more in control of where you can stop and when you can stop. Boat would be okay, but it depends on what size boat. It'd have to be quite a big one, like a cruise ship or something like that. But yeah, car. I'm going to say car. So I feel more in control that way. Okay, and last question is from Tattoo for You. He says, good one, buddy. I completely agree on Marvel to DC. I relate to Marvel characters more because they seem more real, and I know exactly what you mean with that. They do, don't they? What do you think of the new Magnus model? Are there any 40k models that you want to just build and paint but never use on the tabletop? I'd say yeah, all the Primarchs. They're still coming out with them, aren't they? And a lot of the Forge World stuff, the big ones that I would never... What's the big Tyrannid one? You know the one I mean, the big Tyrannid Forge World thing that kind of falls in on it so it's too heavy. Here, I know it's about 1,000 points to field. You would only ever use it in an Apocalypse game, and it's not that great stats wise anyway. But I'd love to have one, build one, and paint one. I don't know where on earth I'd put it, mind you, but yeah, I'd like to do that. Yeah, and the Primarchs, because I probably would never use them in the game. It'd be nice to have them like in a drawer or on a shelf overlooking the army of their origin, you know, so you know, like Magnus would be residing over the Thousand Suns, and Gulliman would be over the Ultramarines, you know, Sanguinius looking at the Blood Angels, and Lionel Johnson he'd be looking over the Dark Angels, you know, I could go on, but anyway, that's all the questions I've got. So thanks for joining me, thanks for putting up with this throat which is preventing me from doing any exciting voices for you. Not that I do exciting voices anyway, but yeah, so sorry if my energy seems a bit down. It's like I don't feel poorly, touch wood, I just sound it a bit. So hopefully I will not succumb to anything, because if I do, I'm in a bit of a trouble. Yeah. But anyway, let's not dwell on that. Thank you for joining me on my P&Q. I love answering your questions. You know, I know it's not easy always to think of questions. You just put comments down if you want, and I'll just talk about it. It's entirely up to you. I don't mind. You can ask me anything. I think I've got a lot of stories I can relay if I dig them out, if I search deep enough. Well, anyway, that's it. That's all I got. Thanks as always. Remember, all brushes lead to war. See you later. Bye for now.